morning everybody, welcome to today's session, the last one of the week. I hope you've all had a lovely week. Let's get started. So we're going to start with our stretch. Just check I'm in shot, yeah. So we're going to take the hands interlaced here, circling the arms. You're going to start to curve your back, pull the tummy in. Just drop that head between your arms. We're going to take nice deep breaths in and out as we're holding here. Releasing those hands, take them behind, pulling the arms back and lifting that chest. Relaxing there one more time on each stretch, so curving forwards as the arms reach away from you. Relaxing there, take the arms behind, reaching back, lifting the chest. And releasing there. We're going to go onto our backs for our breathing. You have to just bear with me today, my hip is really painful. So if I'm taking a long time to change positions, and that's why, but I'll do the best I can. So as you're laying on your back, you want to find a neutral position. So you want to have a slight curve underneath the lower spine. So just enough space for us to get part of your hand between your back and your mat. So your knees are bent, feet are on the floor, and your arms are resting down beside you. You should be looking up towards the ceiling, and we're just taking nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through a pursed lip. Breathing in and out. So as you're taking nice deep breaths in and out, I want you to think about the position of those hips. So trying to keep them nice and level. Imagine you've got a torch on each hip bone and they're shining up parallel to one another onto the ceiling. Keeping the upper body nice and relaxed. So your shoulders are away from the ears and the chest is nice and open. Keep that weight evenly placed to your feet. So big toe, little toe and heel. And just start to gently tighten through the tummy. The next time that you breathe out, I'd like you to tuck the pelvis under. So you're flattening your lower back into the mat. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to release out to neutral. We're tucking under to flatten. Holding there. and releasing out to neutral. So as we're tucking under, we're trying to find a nice strong flat back position. So you're using your tummy muscles and your pelvis to move. Try and avoid squeezing the bottom. On this next one, we're going to be holding our flat back. So you're tucking under to hold. So holding this nice strong flat back position, we're going to start to tighten through the pelvic floor. So as you breathe out, you're tightening all the way in with the pelvic floor. Inhale to release. Exhale, we tighten. Inhale to release. So you're thinking of the sensation of stopping a wee mid-flow. So as you're tightening, you should feel as though your tummy muscles are working harder and that your back is slightly flatter into the floor. We're going to halve this contraction. So 50% tightening in the pelvic floor as you exhale. Inhale to release. So we still want this relaxed position through the upper body, shoulders away from the ears, chest is nice and open. If you're feeling really tense through your upper body, just turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Pull the tummy all the way down towards your spine. Just keep that weight even through those feet. So big toe, little toe and heel. We're halving one last time. So 20 to 25% tightening. This should feel like a very gentle lifting. So something that you could sustain throughout any exercise if you needed to. It's just working in the background. Flat back position should feel nice and strong. You're using your tummy muscles and your pelvic floor to help you to stay there. We're going to bring both legs up into a tabletop position. So you're thinking knees are above your hips, your shins are parallel to the ceiling. We're going to go into toe taps. You're tapping one toe down and you're lifting up, swapping sides, tapping down and lift. Excuse me, tapping down and lift. So you're keeping your flat back, your tummy is tightened. Use the pelvic floor. Nice deep breaths. Got 2 more on each side. We're tapping down and lift. Tapping down and lift. Last one on each side, tapping down and lift. Tapping down and lift. Relaxing there. From there we're going to hug those knees in towards the chest. And then we're going to go onto our hands and knees for our stretch through our back. If you need a drink, then grab one. So we're taking our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Your tummy is nice and tightened here. As you breathe out, you're tucking under with that pelvis. You're curving through the back, arching the spine. We're dropping the head. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to take that pelvis back to your start position. Working through the spine. Lifting the head. Tucking under to curve. Arching the back. Dropping the head. We hold. Releasing out through the spine. Piece by piece. And the head lifts. So we want to get lots of movement through the back. You're working into each section piece by piece. So if you do have any areas that are feeling really stiff or sore, just take your time. Slowing down on any bits that feel stiff or sore. Working to each vertebrae one by one. So as we're curving the back, let's pull that tummy all the way in. As we're releasing to our start position, let those shoulders come away from the ears. We have 2 more here, tucking under to curve. Arching the back. Dropping the head, we hold. Releasing out through the spine. Piece by piece. Lifting the head. One more here, tucking under to curve. Arching the back. Dropping the head, we hold. Releasing out through the spine. Lifting the head. From there, pushing ourselves back into a shell stretch. So bottom to the feet, reach those arms out in front. Then we want to be on our sides. So as you come onto your side, get those legs together. One on top of the other, bent. Resting down and your arms are nice and long and you're going palm to palm excuse me, with the hands. So we're going to lift the top arm up so your fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. We're twisting away. Holding here as you stretch. Before lifting back up and over. To come down palm to palm. The top arm lifts, fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. We're twisting away. Holding here to stretch. Before coming back up and over. To come down palm to palm. So we're going to keep the legs glued together and grounded. Just making sure that twist is coming through your waist. Nice deep breaths here. The arm is stretching from the fingertips all the way into your armpit. So you're really opening in the chest here. We're looking at that hand for as long as we can. Keeping a good range of movement through the neck. Let's take two more on this side. We're going to lift up, fingertips to the ceiling. Take the head with you. Twist away. We hold before we're lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. Last one here, we're lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you and we're twisting away. We hold before lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. From here we're swapping sides. So you can either roll over to face the other way or change the end of the mat that you're laying at. So again, legs are bent and together, resting that head down. Arms are nice and long and palm to palm. We're lifting the top arm up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, we're twisting away. Holding here to take your stretch. Before lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. We're lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Take the head with you, twisting away. We're holding here as we stretch before lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. So your legs stay glued together. You're getting this twist in the waist. The arm is stretching long and away. From the fingertips all the way into your armpits. Looking at that hand for as long as you can. take 2 more on this side. So we're lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. Twisting away, holding here. Before coming back up and over. Going back down palm to palm. This is your last one. Fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. Twisting away, we hold. Before lifting back up and over. Coming down palm to palm. From there, I want you to come into a full body stretch. You can roll onto your back for this if you prefer. We're going to stay on our backs for this next exercise. So if you are already there, you can just stay in that position. If not, then grab yourself a drink, and when you're ready, you're on your back. So if you're already on your back, just make sure you're in a neutral position. So you should have that curve underneath your lower spine. We want the knees bent and the feet on the floor, and the arms are down beside us. So the same position that you had right at the beginning of the class. From here, we're going to take a nice deep breath in to nod the head, chin to chest. Exhale to lift the shoulders from the floor, reach the arms nice and long. We're taking a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to control back down. Chin to chest. Lifting up, we hold. Control back down. So we're pulling the tummy all the way down to give us this lift. Using your chin to chest position to keep the neck nice and relaxed. So big nod of the head, then that tummy pulls in. Reach those arms nice and long, get the shoulders away from the ears. Deep breaths. We've got 2 more here, and then we're going to add some more movement in. So lifting up, holding here, control back down. Last one here, chin to chest. Lifting up, we hold, control back down. So we're just going to add in our pulses. We've done these all week. It doesn't matter if you've not joined in yet this week. I'll still going to talk you through. So again, we're chin to chest, nodding that head, lifting the shoulders up. From here, we're going to pulse 4 times. Lifting up, 2, 3, 4, control back down. Then you're going again, chin to chest, lifting up. We pulse, 2, 3, 4, control back down. You can support the head here if you need to. So again, chin to chest, lifting up, we pulse, 2, 3, 4, control back down. Just make sure that you're still using that chin to chest position. The shoulders are staying away from the ears. Don't forget to breathe. Let's take 2 more here, chin to chest. up, we pulse. 2, 3, 4, control back down, last one, chin to chest, lifting up, we pulse. 2, 3, 4, control back down. From there, hug those knees into your chest, and then we're going to be on our knees or on our fronts, completely up to you which one. So, I'm going to move, oh no, I think I am just about in shot here, so I'll just move this out of the way. So, if you want to lay on your front, you're just in a nice long position with the legs behind you, arms are going to be mat width apart in line with your ears, and with your forearms down, you're doing chest lifts. Okay, I say every day, but they are in the videos, right at the beginning of lockdown if you're not sure on those, or you can drop me a message and I can share that link. If you're on your knees, get those legs nice and close together, so they're underneath your hips, and the lower leg is just behind you. If you suffer from cramp, tuck those toes under, and that should help to just release that a little bit. If you're really curved in your lower back, like I am here, try and get a tuck under slightly of your bottom. It might mean that you're squeezing your bottom a little bit all the time, but just trying to release and get rid of that curve if you can. So just going to take those arms nice and long and beside you. Think shoulders are down. Just slightly nod that head so that you're releasing through the neck. Your tummy should be nice and tightened the whole time that you're moving. So as you breathe in, hinging at your knees, you're leaning back. Exhale, squeeze the bottom to come back up. Leaning back, lifting up. So mine are really small today because my hip and groin area is really uncomfortable today. But you can make yours a little bit bigger if you want to. Just make sure that that movement is from your knees and not through your upper body. So you shouldn't be hinging like this. It should be the whole body staying as one shape and you're leaning through those knees. So if you're going quite far back, it will be firing up through those thighs. Leaning back, lifting up. Leaning back, lifting up. So that force of your exhale is going to really help with that momentum to lift up. We've got 2 more here, and then we're going to add some movement in. So you're leaning back and lift. We're leaning back and lift. So from here, it's the same for if you're laying on your front or if you're kneeling, but I'll talk through laying on your front first. So if you are laying on your front, then what you're going to be doing, keeping those forearms down the whole time, is you're going to lift slightly up. Think about halfway. Hold. Lift all the way up. Hold. Control all the way down. So you're just doing a little pause at halfway and then at your full lift. So on your knees, it's exactly the same thing. We're going to take a halfway lean back. We're going to hold. We're going to lean the other half. Hold. Come all the way up. So the breathing has to change here slightly to get that exhale for up. So you're going to exhale back. Inhale, hold. Exhale back. Inhale, hold. Exhale to lift you up. So my lean again is really small. Doesn't matter if yours is also this small or if yours is a little bit bigger. Just working to where you can go. Keeping that tummy really tightened. Using the bottom on the way up. You might want to use it a little bit for those holds if it's helping you to secure that position. Nice deep breath, keep that tummy pulled in, chin tucked in. We've got 2 more here. We're going to lean back, hold, lean back, hold, all the way up. Again, we're leaning, hold, leaning, hold, all the way up. From there, whichever position you've been in, you're taking a shoulder stretch back. So bottom to the feet, arms are reaching forwards. And in this shoulder stretch, you're really trying to push that bottom down to the feet. My bump is just in the way, so I'm not able to do that. I just want you to grab yourself a drink if you've got one to hand. And then we'll be on our backs for the 100. So as you come onto your back for the 100, just settle with the knees bent and the feet on the floor for now while I'm talking through. If you've done a class this week, then you'll know what to expect anyway. So we're going to be in a nice flattened position. Knees to be really tucked under. Flatten that lower back into the floor. From there, you're going to be lifting your legs up into a tabletop position. So your knees will be above your hips, and your shins will be parallel to the ceiling. If that feels quite comfortable and quite easy for you, then you're going to start to take your legs towards the floor, which will mean that your knees would then be in front of your hips, but I still want the shins parallel to the ceiling. Keeping your flat back. If that sounds really confusing and you have no idea what I'm on about, then stay with this box shape that I've just mentioned. From there, if your neck is sore, leave your head resting down looking to the ceiling. If not, nod the head and lift your shoulders. Bring your arms nice and long and have your palms facing the ceiling. So our emphasis today, or this week, is on the push up of your arms. Imagine that's through water or some kind of resistance. You're still going to be taking the same breath pattern, so 5 as you breathe in and 5 as you breathe out. And we're still going for 100 repetitions. From there, you're going to be taking the hands behind your head. And we're going to go into 2 sets of 8, sitting up towards those legs. Once we finish those 2 sets of 8, we're going to come into alternating, reaching over to the opposite knee. You've still got one hand behind for support. And then once we finish there, we'll take a stretch. And we'll be done. So find your strong flat back position. Really tuck under, no gap. From there, bring your legs up. So knees above hips, shins parallel to the ceiling. If you're lifting your upper body, nod your head. Lift those shoulders and take those arms long with the palms facing the ceiling. And we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pelvic floor, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Staying here, take those hands behind your head. We're doing sit-ups for 8, 7, 6, 5. Tummies in, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 more. 8, 7, 6. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach across for 8. Swap sides. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last set. 8, 7, 6. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relaxing there. Rest down. Hug those knees into your chest. and come into a full body stretch. Give your legs a nice shake out if you need to. And then we're going to come into a nice stretch. So if you're stretched, you're going to be seated. I'm going to be sitting on my arc barrel, but you can just be on the mat, that's fine. So I'm not going to be really properly joining in with a stretch because, again, of my groin/hip issue. But I'm going to talk you through and kind of do a variation of it if I can. So what we're going to be doing is the same stretch that we did yesterday and I think the day before. I really lose track of the days at the moment. So you're going to take one leg slightly out to the side. It's not directly in front of you, it's slightly out to the side. And the other leg is going to bend, and you want to bring your foot as close in towards your body and your groin that you can. So it's not coming over to the thigh, it's coming in towards your body. Excuse me. And that doesn't matter if that's quite an open position or if you're able to stay quite tucked in. So what we're going to be doing is we're walking out with the hands, holding for our breathing. We're going to be coming over towards the diagonal, towards that leg, holding, back to the centre, in and up, and we'll swap sides. So starting really nice and tall through the body, shoulders are quite relaxed. We're going to roll down through the upper body. So just take that chin to the chest and start to curve the back. As soon as you can touch the floor, start to walk your hands forwards. And as you're walking those hands forwards, just find a position where you can feel a nice stretch and you feel quite comfortable in that stretch. And from there, I want you to point the toes on the leg that's long. So try not to squish the toes up, thinking of pointing the big toe away. So you should just be dropped down towards the floor, holding that stretch, taking nice deep breaths in and out. So I want you to drop your head towards the floor, so it shouldn't matter here that I'm not joining in with the movement. You shouldn't be looking at me, you should just be looking at the floor, having that stretch. And you should start to feel it down the back of the leg that's long. Remember, we want the exhale to be longer than your inhale, so really push all of that air out on your breath out. Feeling that rise and fall of your body as you're breathing in and out as well. From here, I want you to stay dropped down, but start to walk your hands over and twist towards the long leg that's got the pointed foot. Doesn't matter here if your hands are by your knee, your shin, your ankle, or your foot. You're just dropping down, imagining that you're trying to get your nose towards your knee. Doesn't matter if you're a way off. That's just the feeling I want you to have as you're taking that stretch. So now you're getting a nice stretch down the side of your body, the opposite side to the leg that's long. Still should feel it down the back of that leg. Taking those nice deep breaths. You can almost have a sense of pulling yourself down a little bit here with the arms to increase that stretch if you want to. So really using that breath. From there, I want you to walk yourself back into the centre, then walk your hands back to your body. Sit up nice and tall. From there, we're going to swap sides. So bring the other leg in and bent towards your body, not over to that leg. You've got your leg that's long, you're pointing that foot. And remember, we don't want a scrunched up foot like I'm doing here, if you can see that, which I call a banana foot. Think about pointing with your big toe. Okay, and some of you have a greater range of movement there than others. So same thing, start nice and tall, rolling down through the body. As soon as you can touch the floor, start to walk those hands away. You're just holding that stretch down towards your mat, taking those nice deep breaths. So just using that breath to just relax you. You might find that your body will start to feel a bit more flexible as you're taking those nice deep breaths in and out. And if you do feel that, just allow yourself to drop a bit further into that stretch. Getting that longer exhale and inhale. Dropping the head down towards your mat. From here, we're going to walk our way over towards that long leg. The foot should be pointed. You're holding either nearer the knee, the shin, the ankle, the foot, whichever is comfortable for you. Have that sense of pulling down to try and get the nose to the knee. Stretching the opposite side of your body to that long leg as you're getting that reach across the body. Just still take those nice deep breaths. There's lots of control here. Lots of deep breathing. And from there, just walk yourself back into the center. Walking those hands back in. Sitting up nice and tall. Just take a moment if you're feeling a little bit lightheaded to recenter yourself. Grabbing a drink if you need to. If you didn't do that stretch, then all you've done for the past few minutes is just watch me sitting down. I'm sorry. From here, we're coming into our frog stretch. Just have the soles of your feet together. Try and again have those feet quite close towards your body if you can. Just take a tiny bounce through those hips. And then relax that bounce. And then what we're going to do is using just the weight of your legs, so not your arms or anything else. And you're just going to think about pushing those legs away and relax. Pushing the legs away. So using the weight of your legs, try and push down towards the mat and relax. Pushing down and relax. The movement's quite subtle if you're looking at me on the screen. The movement isn't very big. 2 more here. Push down and relax. Pushing down and relax. Then you can take hold of those feet and lean forwards. And here is when you can push those elbows really into the legs to increase that stretch if you need to. Good. Okay, from here, we're going to be on our hands and knees. If you usually use a weight for any arm exercises, then grab one. I'll just grab mine. It's at the front here from when I PT'd my husband the other day. For demonstration purposes, not for my husband to lift. I'm much meaner to him than 2 kilos. So this is just a 2 kilo kettlebell. You can use a 1 kilo, a half a kilo, anything like that. If you haven't got kettlebells, dumbbells is fine, wrist weights, or just tins out of your cupboard is also fine. If you don't want to use weights, or you haven't got anything you can use, it doesn't matter. You'll still get something from this, and it really isn't the end of the world. I'm going to demonstrate with and without the weights, okay? I don't know why my camera keeps going kind of an orange hue. It might be the sunshine. So I'm sorry if you can see that. I'm sorry if that looks weird. So I'll show you from front on and from side on. So you can just see what my arm and my upper body is doing. So basically what we're going to be doing is a row. We've done this before over the last few weeks. It's quite a nice new one that I've incorporated from more of a fitnessy side, and I've just adapted it a little bit for Pilates. Good for the arms and the back. So what you're going to be basically doing is moving your arm from here to here. Okay? So what I want you to think about, if I show you side on, is your hand is going to come in towards your hip. So if you can see that, that's all my hand is doing. And I'm not putting it straight flat back down. It's like a slide on and off of the floor. If I show you front on, what you should not be able to see is my elbow. So my elbow isn't coming out. It's tucked in the whole time. So even with the weight, you're tucking in. So you're thinking about lifting your hand to your hip or thereabouts and squeezing the elbow in towards your back. And so if you're not using the weight, that squeeze as you lift is activating all of these muscles here. Okay, your traps, your trapezius. So that's what we want to be working. We're going to be doing 10 on one side, 10 on the other, a little rest, 10 on one side, 10 on the other. You can be on your forearms if you know you suffer from really sore wrists. You'll just have less movement, but you can still do it from there, it's not a problem. And if you know that you need to rest those wrists in order to be able to do planks later, then do that, because it would be better today if you can be on long arms. So, we're going to do 10 on each side, 10 on each side. So on the hands and knees, if you're using a weight, you'll just have that there for one side. Here we go. We're lifting up and down, lift and down, squeeze the elbow and down, squeeze and down, breathe and down, halfway, lift and down, lift and down. You're lifting up and down. Last two, lift and down, lift and down. Straight away swapping sides, so move that weight across if you need to. Lifting up and down, lift and down. We're lifting up and down, still squeezing and down, and down. Halfway, lift and down, lift and down. We're lifting up and down. Last two, up and down, lift and down. From there, just come back and roll those wrists. And we're going again, 10 on each side. So if you know you are super strong and super hench, you can use a heavier weight if you want to. It's just about picking something that's appropriate for your strength and your ability and being able to complete the set. That's important. Here we go, lifting up and down, lift and down. Make sure you're breathing, and down, and down, lift and down. Halfway, lift up and down, elbow in and down, elbow in and down. Last two, lift and down, lift and down. Swap sides. Here we go, lifting up and down, lift and down. We're lifting up and down, lift and down, lifting up and down. Halfway, lift and down, lift and down. We're lifting up and down. Last two, lift and down, lift and down. Relaxing there so you can stretch back. Just roll through the wrists. Grab yourself a drink if you need one. Okay, so staying on hands and knees, we're going to do legs. We did this on Monday, this sequence. We have done it before. So doing donkey kicks. If I'm really grimacing or I sound like I'm in pain, don't worry about me, just keep going. So again, you can be on your forearms here if you need to rest those wrists. Just staying nice and comfortable through that upper body. So here what we're doing is lifting one leg from the floor and you're pushing that leg up towards the ceiling. And we're going to be doing 10 on one side, 10 on the other, and we should have enough time to do 10 on each side again. Ideally, to get the perfect position, you'd have a right angle as you push up, okay? And that will activate the bottom and into the lower back. It doesn't matter if you're not there yet. Mine are going to be probably really small because they're really painful for me. So don't worry if you're not coming all the way up. So 10 on each side, I'll count you through again. Here we go. Lifting up and down, lift and down. We're lifting up and down, lift and down, breathe, lift and down. Halfway, lift up and down, lift up and down. We're lifting up and down. Last two, up and down, up and down. Swapping sides, lifting up and down, lift and down. We're lifting up and down, lift and down, lift and down. Halfway, lift and down, lift and down, lift and down. Last two, lift and down, lift and down. Relax there, roll through those wrists. We've got one set on each side again, so 10 and 10. Remember, if you need to drop down to those forearms. Ready, here we go. Lifting up and down, lift and down. We're lifting up and down, lift and down. Breathe, lift and down. Halfway, lift up and down, lift and down. We're lifting up and down. Last two, lift and down, lift and down. Swapping sides, lifting up and down, lift and down. We're lifting up and down, lift and down, lifting up and down. Halfway, lift and down, lift and down, lifting up and down. Last two, lift and down, lift and down. From here, push back into a shell stretch. Roll those wrists. We're still going to be on our hands and knees for our knee lifts, but grab a drink if you need one. So for our knee lifts, we're going to be on our forearms. So what I want you to do, and I bang on about this every single day, is have your forearms so they're parallel to one another. So if I show you front on, I do not want your arms to be crossing in like this or opening out. Lots of you will want to do this quite comfortably, but it's rounding your shoulders in. Keep them parallel to one another. Don't mind if it's hands or fists, whatever's comfortable for you. Excuse me, but they should be parallel. Tuck those toes under. From here, as you're breathing out, so you're going to pull your tummy all the way in, pressing down into the feet and the arms to lift those knees off just an inch or so. Inhale down. Exhale to lift. Inhale down. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. So you're thinking tummy muscles are lifting you. Your hands and your feet are just there for support. You want to keep that head looking down towards the floor. So just make sure you're not dropping it, you're not trying to lift it up, adding pressure to the neck. Just looking down, taking those nice lifts off of the floor. Let's take 4 more here. We're lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Last 2, lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. From there, just relaxing back and rolling the wrists. So we're going into our planks. We're actually doing press-ups. And we're doing quite narrow press-ups. If you really can't take any weight through the wrists, then what I want you to do is on your forearms, bring your forearms close together. So they're not angled, the whole of your arms are touching, so you're still in a really narrow position with your body. If you're going to be on long arms, we're going to make a triangle, so hopefully you can see against my top. Your thumbs and your index fingers will touch, making that triangle, and that's what's going to be on the floor. If you've only ever done these online classes with me, we did these right at the beginning of lockdown, where we lifted the chest from the floor. If you've been to class with me before all of this, then we would have done these before and you probably really didn't like them, but I really love them. So, your triangle or your narrow arms are going to come nice and long and in front of you. If you are on your forearms, you're obviously not doing a press up, you're just holding your plank. So triangle arms are out in front. You're going to be stepping that leg back, taking your weight into the toes. The other leg is then going to meet it, and you're tucking under into your long plank position, nice and strong. From here, we're going to bend the elbows, straighten them, and relax. So it's a press up or a push up, whatever you want to call it. Stepping back, long line here. We're going to bend the elbows, straighten them, and relax there. Keep going with those at your own pace. So what I need you to remember is that a press up or a push up is pressing or pushing up from somewhere. So if your bend is really tiny here, that doesn't matter as long as you can push yourself back up from that. So if you're bringing yourself all the way down to the floor but you can't lift yourself back up, you're not completing the movement because it's a press upwards of your body weight, okay? Nobody was born being able to do chest to floor press ups. So if your movement is small, that's fine as long as you can push or press up from the floor. That is the point of this movement. Do not let anybody else tell you otherwise. Okay, so all these people who think that press ups should only be chest to floor are completely lying because nobody could do that right from the beginning. Making sure that in your long line you're squeezing your bottom and pulling your tummy in. Your whole body is moving as one. Don't let this happen where you start to just crotch the floor. Okay, your whole body is moving as one. Your chest should be leading that movement, not your crotch, not your groin, not your hips. So stepping back, a long line. Down, lift, and relax. We're going to do 2 more of these. I'm hoping that you're finding, if you've done lots of classes this week, that you feel strong. Step back, find a nice long line here. We're going to bend, straighten, and relax. You've just got 1 more here. Step back, find that long line. Bend, straighten, relaxing there, stretch back, and roll through those wrists. Good, really well done on those press ups. From there, bring yourself either into a knelt, seated or standing position, whatever you're most comfortable with, it really doesn't matter. Just for our end stretch. So in this position, whichever position you're in, we're just going to take a nice roll back of the shoulders. God, every day this week, this hour's gone really quickly. Might just be me. And forwards. Rolling the shoulders. Taking those arms out to the side, we're lifting all the way up and stretch over to the side with one arm. Come back to the centre, we're lifting up, we're stretching over. Back to the centre, one more time on each side, lift up and over. Come back to the centre, one last time, we're lifting up and over. Relaxing there. That is the end of today's session. Oh. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. All throughout the week, if you've been joining in. Obviously, yesterday there was an announcement that gyms can open towards the end of this month. I did share a link on my Facebook page. If you're watching this on YouTube, I can send you that link if you want me to, about why I'm just going to continue online, because for ventilation purposes, it recommends that each person within the fitness environment has got 100 square feet to move around in. And although I realise we don't move around a lot, a mat's length or width, which is around 6 feet, is quite difficult to then make sure you've got enough space around you for ventilation, as well as the fact that most of my halls and spaces that I hire aren't actually opening yet. So we're going to stick with online classes, which I hope is okay with you guys. And as always, I want you to thank you all for supporting me and watching and sharing with friends. I know that there's a few people that have been joining in that have never even come to classes before, from all over the country, and that's absolutely amazing. And I love that you've been joining in with class. But if you do have any questions on sort of what's going to happen. I can try and answer them as best I can, but the problem is I don't really know myself, from the uncertainty of distancing, safety measures, as well as the fact that I'm going to be quite heavily pregnant when things start to return to whatever normal will be. So I'm not 100% sure, but as always, I will try and stay as open and honest with you guys as we go through and update you when I can. I'll try and do like an official post, or clients that were in classes, I'll send you messages out. But that's enough of me waffling. I hope you'll have a fabulous day and weekend, and I hope to see lots of you next week. Bye!